What's going on, y'all? So I have a profound amount of respect for Mr. Al Harrington. For those who don't know who Al Harrington is, he is like a 17-year NBA vet. Wasn't a superstar player, but it was a very good player, man. Played his role extremely well. He can score the ball too and has skill. I was a fan of Al when he was on those Golden State Warriors teams and also when he was on the Indiana Pacers. And I always got a good vibe from that brother, man. He always seemed just like a good spirited person, just a good human being, man. Always seemed like a good natured dude and a guy that's fun to be around. So after watching his interviews talking about his marijuana company, VIOLA, I know that Al Harrington is a great man, is a very, very good man. And I can tell by the relationships that he has with guys like Steven Jackson and how great that they talk about him. You know, they seem like they always talk about Al in positive light. But Al, I'm proud of him for capitalizing off of the marijuana industry, especially as a black man, when for so many years, brothers have been locked up and villainized for marijuana distribution. And now, now Al is capitalizing off of the business of marijuana now that it's become a business in America. How ironic. But anyway, he like, look, I'm going to capitalize off of this. And not only is he capitalizing off of this, he's putting other black men in position to win from this opportunity. He's putting other black people in position to say, you know what? I have the funds, I have the resources, due to him making money as an NBA player. I'm gonna put other people in position to win and educate them on this business so that they can get involved with it and know, hey, learn about the different opportunities that there is in this business and how lucrative it is. Also, but he want to talk about the positive effects of marijuana and the CBD oils and all the type of things that they have with their company. So I found it quite interesting, right? I myself I've never smoked a day in my life, never smoked a cigarette. So I definitely didn't smoke marijuana at all, not even in college or whatever. But, of course I have friends and family who smoked as well. Al speaks about the stigma against marijuana. When we were coming up in school, marijuana was looked at as like a gateway drug for people to do crack cocaine, all that type of stuff. They look like don't ever do that. And when I'm listening to Al talk, he's speaking about how marijuana, of course, is natural of the earth, is a better treatment than a lot of the painkillers and stuff that a lot of these players in the NBA and NFL get hooked on. Our body gets broken down throughout the season. Even being an NBA player, get worn down. We have a lot of aches and pains. A lot of players, instead of, they turn to terrible habits such as becoming alcoholics. They turn to painkillers. They start getting addicted to painkillers and all that type of stuff. And they start getting hooked and their life is just thrown all to the wayside. However, when they smoke marijuana, they felt better. They become more relaxed. They become more calm. They can get a good night's rest. They sleep much better. And he was like, this is something that the NBA needs to look into. And he sat down with David Stern and had a great conversation to bring it to David Stern, the former commissioner of the NBA, and educate him on that. And when I'm listening to the brother talk, he's very, very knowledgeable about the industry, speaks very eloquently. Of course, you're saying if he's in the business, he should speak well about it and should know a lot about it. But I'm impressed, man. The way Al is breaking this stuff down, it's very, very dope, man. And I told y'all for so many years, it used to rub me the wrong way. I used to get heated. I used to get pissed low key. And I ain't never sold drugs or did nothing like that either. But I'm saying, I know so many black men that got locked up for selling weed. There was a war on weed and all that type of stuff. Selling it. People trying to crack down on weed sellers. And now it's a big business now. Now all the big wigs and the big guys, the big businessmen, they want their hand in the cookie jar. They want to have a piece of the pie. So now they turn it into a business. So I'm like, well, I hope that every brother that got these marijuana charges will be released from prison, especially with it being a big business now and how lucrative it is for a lot of other people. But I'm hearing Al talk about his journey and how he spoke about what led him to, Al didn't even smoke throughout the majority of his career. He said he did it one time when they missed the playoffs in Golden State, and I think he was like 31 at the time. But I stopped doing it after that because he's like, I just didn't really have a good experience at the time, and I really wasn't knowledgeable on it. I just did it because I was just, we were just depressed or whatever, hurting from the playoffs, from not making the playoffs. He then spoke about how his grandmother was ailing. She had glaucoma. She had all type of other medical issues, and she was feeling bad. She couldn't see a lot. So he gave her some cannabis, and she was healed. She said, I could see the word. I could finally read the words in my Bible. And she was crying. And he said it had me being emotional. And from that point on, I said, he said he wanted to get into the marijuana industry, learn more about it, and talk about the positive effects that it has on so many people and how it healed his grandmother from from ailing for all those years, not being able to see, having all these aches and pains, taking all these different pills, and not feeling better at all. And he's like, cannabis helped to heal my grandmother in ways that none of this other medicine could. And so he started the company and named the company VIOLA after his grandmother. And I'm listening to him talk about his story, and it's so inspirational, man. So inspirational. Right now, Al said, Al is sending 10 kids from FAMU, which is an HBCU, an historically black college and university. He's sending 5 boys and 5 girls to learn about the business of marijuana, learn about the business of cannabis. And he's teaching them about, the kids will be learning about cultivation, manufacturing, and also the retail side of things, which is profound, man. You got these kids at these black kids at this university. It's not just black kids that go to HBCUs, but predominantly, of course, it is African-American students. But you can find other minority groups and other groups, other ethnicities there as well, but it's predominantly made of African-American people. So he went to a black college to inform these kids about the opportunities that there is in the marijuana industry, because a lot of these black kids won't even be taught about this stuff. They won't even be get a foot in the door. They won't even be given an opportunity. So he's like, I'm going to go to these schools and tell these kids about the opportunities that they can explore within the cannabis industry, and show them that it is possible, and also give them a network where they can reach out to if they want to get into this industry. Give them some type of pipeline and some type of connection to the field, which is great, man. Kids going to school, yes, it's important to get your degree. It's important to be educated. It's important to graduate, but it's also important to have those connections to get into the doors that you want to get into. Because let's face it, Al was able to get into the industry because he has the money from being a successful NBA player. Came straight out of high school, made millions and millions of dollars, and he was able to invest straight out of his own pocket. A lot of black kids and black and brown kids, they don't have those opportunities. They don't have that money to start it up. It takes a lot of money. But they can get in position with somebody who can help them get into the door. Al is like, look, I'm going to give you a way to get into the door so you can get into the business, and you can come along with me, and I can show you how these things go. And then you can go and make you some money, and you can, learn, you can grow from there. Al talked about people that he put into position, people that he's employed, and talk about how those brothers they was riding to work on a bike. Eventually they were able to get a car, able to get their first home, able to get a home, apartment, or whatever. They were able to grow from that opportunity being in the cannabis industry. And how he's like, I want my people to learn about it. I want them to become educated about it, but also to get into this business and find their foot in the door so they can get a leg up. And that's what I respect and I admire about Mr. Al Harrington, man. Not leaving your people behind, putting them in position to be successful, but also, hey, playing the game and getting your piece of the pie and say, look, I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna get in here and put my people on and put them in position, man. And I'm going to spread knowledge about marijuana, because it was always looked at as a bad thing. I'm going to help other brothers in the league who may be suffering from, because they have addictions. It's some brothers in the league that have addictions to alcohol and painkillers because they can't smoke. So it's like, these smoking will help heal them from all the things that they're ailing from. A lot of those brothers was turning to alcohol to get healed. He like, no, I'm trying to get this stuff legalized in the NBA so they can eliminate marijuana as something that you will get banned for, or you have to sit out for, so that brothers can be able to get healed with a natural herb. That's respectable, man. But Al went through some adversity. He wasn't able to avoid adversity. A lot of people was hating on Al. I heard the police raided Al's company. They raided him and tried to get him out of the game. They froze his assets and basically was trying to go in there and shut him down in hopes that they would find some big time drug dealers, some illegal stuff going on. Luckily, Al, who has a lot of money and a lot of resources, he said, listen, if I didn't have the money that I had from being an NBA player, I wouldn't have been able to pay for my attorneys, all the different attorneys that I hired. I wouldn't have had some money in a whole nother account so that I can still operate and function and pay my bills and take care of my responsibilities as a man if I didn't have all this money that he had for being in the NBA. So they tried to shut Al down, and he got a nice amount of change. So he like, look, I know it takes a lot of money. A lot of our people don't have it. So I'm giving my people opportunity to come into this business and come in and shine and thrive and teach other people about it, but also to better their life as well. And that's why I respect Mr. Al Harrington. Got a lot of love for that brother. Going into the HBCUs to teaching these kids about the marijuana industry, but also putting them right in line to get into the business, giving them a clear-cut connection. Not, oh, we teach about this and hope you find your way in somehow, some way. No, Al saying, look, if I'm teaching y'all gonna find your way into this field through me. And we gonna get this money and everything gonna be all good. Glad, so proud of that black man. Shout out Al Harrington, doing your thing. Stay positive, brother. And man, he got a good spirit about him, man. Machiavelli Mills TV, peace.